Welcome to the most must-watch WSUW YouTube channel in history. Welcome to First Round KO.
Enjoy the program.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is
Howard J. Dingers. And this is 3 Count Review.
welcome everyone to Smackdown Live.
Smackdown Live Edition. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Howard Dingers, and welcome to 3 Count Review, the Smackdown Live Edition, presented by First Round KO. Today, I'm alone in the studio. I'm all by myself, but we have as always on Tuesdays, we have a very fun and exciting episode of SmackDown Live to talk about the final go-home show on the main roster before the TLC pay-per-view. Before we get into the full review, I'll give a quick synopsis of what happened on the show. SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch is going to defend against Charlotte and Asuka in the first ever women's tables, ladders, and chairs match on Sunday. But last night, Charlotte Flair took on Asuka in a WrestleMania rematch. In their first match, Flair ended Asuka's undefeated streak, and Lynch is also scheduled to be in attendance for the match. Ahead of defending the WWE Championship against AJ Styles on Sunday, Daniel Bryan faced 205 Live's Mustafa Ali in a non-title fight. Last week, Samoa Joe interrupted Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton with a public service announcement as he mocked Hardy's past personal issues and substance abuse problems. Hardy responds to Joe's public service announcement tonight. I don't think that actually happened. And the Bar will defend the SmackDown tag titles against the Usos and the New Day at TLC. However, tonight they'll have a different kind of battle. The Bar take on the Usos in a rap battle, which will be hosted by the New Day. So, that's just a quick little synopsis of what happens. So let's get into the full review. Like I said, this was a very fun show. And we actually opened up before anything actually on the show started. We had a very fun and very great, because WWE is great at video packages. We had a really good video package kind of previewing what's going to happen tonight. We had a really good video package about Charlotte versus Asuka, and then we had a good preview of the rap battle, and then a little preview of Mustafa versus Daniel Bryan. And it was a really good way to build the show that you're about to watch. It was like a pay-per-view preview video, but it worked for SmackDown, and it really actually made me excited for the rest of the show. It worked very well. I kind of hope they do that more. Then we had Daniel Bryan coming down to start SmackDown. He apologized for calling everyone sheep last week. He claims that was offensive to sheep. Sheep don't ruin the planet like humans do. He noted that the people take, especially in Las Vegas, and he said people are more like parasites. The crowd chanted Daniel Bryan sucks, and he said the old Daniel Bryan is dead, and so is the Yes Movement. Daniel Bryan said the parasites are now attached to the couch in the house that AJ Styles built. Great line. He promised to defeat Styles on Sunday, and Mustafa Ali heard enough and came out. He tried to introduce himself, but Daniel stopped himself. He said, "I know who you are, Mustafa, but these idiots here probably don't know who you are." Bryan called Ali the heart of 205 Live and an incredible performer. Bryan noted that Ali reminds him of himself. He said the fans don't deserve to see Bryan versus Ali. Ali wondered what happened to Daniel. Ali also noted that he used to look up to him. He said the old Bryan would want to fight, and Ali wants to fight. The fans broke out into a fight chant. Bryan asked Mustafa what kind of car he drives. Mustafa said, "I drive an SUV." Bryan called Ali a little man, a small little man, and Ali explained that he's got a family, but Bryan slapped him. He was saying he's small. Why do you need a SUV? Ali fought back with a Hurricane Rana and followed it up with a huge dive onto the floor. And then we went into commercial break. When we came back from commercial break, we had the match, Daniel Bryan versus Mustafa Ali. Bryan was firmly in control. This was just a fantastic match. Oh, my goodness. I was super excited when they announced this match, and I don't think it lived up to the hype, but I don't think it was going to because of the way that heel Daniel Bryan works his matches now. But this was as good of a match as I could have hoped for. During a second commercial break, Ali hit a Spanish fly on Bryan. During the commercial break, they did the little picture-in-picture thing. But, yeah, Spanish fly onto Daniel Bryan, who has just come back from a serious neck injury. Cool. During a commercial break. The best spot of the night, commercial break. Just saying, WWE, do things better. Then Bryan applied the yes lock. We don't know what the yes lock is called anymore. Commentary put that over very well. But then Ali made it to the ropes. Bryan caught Ali in the tree of row, hit the running drop kick, hit a back suplex, but Ali landed on his feet off the back suplex. Fired back with hard chops in an awesome sequence. Ali sent Bryan into the corner, but he ran up the turnbuckle into a backflip and landed on his feet. At the same time, Ali ran forward and hit a tornado DDT off the second turnbuckle for a near fall. I know that sounds very complicated and probably complex and confusing. Go watch it. I strongly recommend go watch this match. If you have any time in the day, please go try to watch this match. The finish came when Mustafa missed the 054, the inverted 450. He calls it the 054. And Bryan hit Ali's leg against the ring post, much like he did to AJ last week. Bryan then locked on the heel hook for the submission win. After the match, Bryan attacked Ali on the ramp, and Bryan locked in the heel hook again. This was just a great match, like I've said. It was a really great way to start off SmackDown, and I'm really excited. I know they won't do this in the future, but I really hope they do kind of try to start to utilize these 205 Live guys. Maybe more matches with Seth Rollins and AJ Styles, maybe even Nakamura. Throw in these guys, really promote 205 Live, try to help those numbers, and just put on good matches on TV, kind of fill time. Especially on Raw, they need that kind of talent and that kind of boost. I'm worried that this match was only only happened because Daniel wanted a match with Mustafa. Like, that's kind of what my thought process. I know they go back a while. Mustafa looked up to him, like he said in this promo, and I think they told a story on commentary about Mustafa like carrying Daniel's bags at an indie show or something like that. So I don't know if they're going to use 205 Live talent in the future. I think this might have just been Bryan and Ali wanted a match together, so they threw it on this SmackDown. But I hope they learn from this, and I hope it works. There was also a picture on Instagram. I believe it was Cedric Alexander who posted it, and it was a bunch of the 205 Live guys in the back watching the match in gorilla position. They were, and the caption, hold on, I'm pulling it up. It was, Cedric, Noam Dar, Gentleman Jack, Arya Davari, Tony Nese, Buddy Murphy, and Micah Maria Kanellis. As Cedric posted, when one of us succeeds, we all succeed. Amazing job, Mustafa. So I think that's awesome. Like, 205's like this little family, and it's very cool to see them cheer each other on. So that was cool. I hope they do this more. Then we had the New Day come out in suits because they are going to host the second ever SmackDown Live rap battle. Woods said that they're hosting for obvious reasons. The Bar were wearing red Adidas track suits with gold chains. It looked a lot like they pointed this out on What Culture podcast. They looked like Brodus Clay. They looked like the Funkasaurus. It was pretty funny. Big E noted that the Bar requested the rap battle, so they're probably up to shenanigans. Fair assessment. The Bar went first, and it was so bad, Big E held up a picture of a trash can. I didn't catch that. That's awesome. New Day called them trash. The Usos went next and were great. The highlights included comparing New Day to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, also because Sheamus was in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. And they also compared the Bar to Bebop and Rocksteady. And they also brought up Cesaro injuring his teeth on the turnbuckle. The line was, "How do you knock someone's teeth out without any knuckles. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Mr. Turnbuckle. Awesome line. Awesome line. Okay, so I know it doesn't go too much into these notes, but I'll go through it myself. The bars rap was basically them doing Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice, and they just did Ice Ice Shamey. It was entertaining. It wasn't good by any means, but they weren't supposed to be good. They were supposed to be the comedy act. They were supposed to be like, we're here. We requested this rap battle so that we could beat you up. So we're just going to do this silly little thing to kind of distract you type of thing. And it was very entertaining. I enjoyed it. It made me laugh a couple times. And that was the point. And then the Usos just killed it like they normally do. They had a couple really good lines in there, like the Turnbuckle one. They had a couple about Sheamus being in the Ninja Turtles movie. They had one about how he looks stupid, and then the crowd started chanting, "You look stupid" again, like they used to for him. It was just great. It was amazing. They referenced Cesaro being called the Swiss Superman, and then they said something about them never getting injured, or one of them never getting injured, and they're the real Iron Man or something like that, and then they're calling themselves Tony Stark. It was just really good. Go watch this segment because the Usos are fantastic. The Bar tried to jump the Usos, but they ducked. New Day and Usos went face-to-face, but the Bar jumped back into the ring and beat down both teams and then posed with the belts. Like I said, great segment. I think this was a really good filler segment before the actual pay-per-view, because last week we had the singles triple threat match, and then to do this in the filler and then actually have the triple threat next week, I think that was really good timing on their part. In the back, Asuka promised to win the title on Sunday at TLC. First, she'll beat Charlotte Flair tonight. The Miz was in the ring with the World Cup trophy, and he asked Shane McMahon to come in the ring. He got down on one knee and begged Shane to come to the ring. He said he's not Jon Snow, and he has no problem bending the knee. Good little reference that I don't get. But the crowd popped for it, so it must have been a good reference. McMahon did come out to the ring. He asked if the Miz was okay. Miz noticed Shane wasn't answering his calls or texts. He gave him one more chance. He said they're meant to be together as a tag team. Shane noted that Miz and the trophy were starting to get weird. Miz said he's going to prove it to him that they should be a tag team. And he called out a referee and their opponents, the Vegas Boys, which Corey pointed out very cleverly that one of the boys looked like Kevin Hart. And he said, "Oh, did Kevin skip the Academy Awards to come wrestle on SmackDown?" That was a fantastic line by Corey Graves. So then we had Shane and The Miz, team besties in the world, versus the Vegas Boys. Now, this was a lot like their match with Jobbers from, 2 or 3 weeks ago, when Miz was in the ring the whole time, Shane never tagged in. This time, Shane was in the ring the whole time, Miz never tagged in. He stayed in his entrance gear, and he held the trophy the entire time. And the Vegas Boys jumped Shane at the start. Shane got the upper hand, because he's the best in the world. And he just potatoes them a couple times. He just smacks them. Just, when I say potatoes, he landed his kicks and his punches. Like, they weren't wrestling punches. They were real punches. They looked terrible, and they looked like they hurt. Shane at one point hit a terrible-looking float-over DDT. Very painful. And then he applied a terrible-looking triangle hold for the win. Takeaway from the match: Shane McMahon is terrible. Anyway, in the back, Paige was yelling at the referee for going out there to referee the match, but he said Miz told him that Paige approved the match. So she was like, "What?" And then the Vegas Boys entered with invoices because the Miz said that she'd promised to pay them $5,000 each for that match. She ripped up the invoices and kicked them out. So Paige was strangely heel about this. I don't know if it was just because she was so upset with Miz or what. I don't know. She looked a little heel, so I hope they don't. God, if they turn Paige heel, just to have another heel authority figure. Excuse me. I'd be very upset. Next, we had Randy Orton coming down to the ring, and he brought in a steel chair. He noted there's nothing better than a solid steel chair. He said they're Good for sending a message. He showed footage of his 2 attacks on Rey Mysterio, which happened to be with steel chairs. What? I hate builds to pay-per-views like this. Orton mocked Mysterio for wanting revenge. He then called Mysterio his victim, and victims don't get revenge. He said the rest of the roster on Sunday should be worried about the letters TLC, but Mysterio needs to worry about RKO. But, as he said, suddenly Mysterio hit Orton from behind with a steel chair and hit him with the 619. This was a good little segment to do. Yeah, it's good to build the match. It'll be interesting. Then we had Kayla Braxton backstage interviewing Becky Lynch. Lynch pointed out that she was able to test her face and head. She pointed out that she has to test her face and head in a TLC match on Sunday. She doesn't have the advantage, but she likes that. She's always fighting against the odds, and she promised to be at ringside for the match later tonight. On Sunday, she's going to remind everyone how much chaos there is when the man comes around. Like always, Becky Lynch is amazing. Moving on. Then we had a tag team match, 4 guys who are in feuds, but will not be on the TLC pay-per-view. Go SmackDown. Jeff Hardy and Rusev versus Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura. Before the match could start, R-Truth and Carmella came out for a short dance break. Always entertaining. I think that was also meant to just plug the Mixed Match Challenge. So, Hardy was distracted by the dance break. Nakamura jumped him from behind, and the heels isolated Hardy on their side of the ring for most of the match. Rusev got the hot tag, ran wild on Shinsuke Nakamura. Rusev knocked Nakamura with a kick for a hard count. Hardy hit the Twist of Fate on Joe and followed it up with a clothesline off the apron. The finish came when Nakamura went for the Kinshasa, but Rusev nailed him with the Machka kick for the win. Rusev pins the United States champion. So that's obviously going to set up a U.S. title feud in between TLC and Rumble. I don't know if it'll actually go to the Rumble, but we'll see. It might be a fun little match that they can do at the Rumble, because you can always do kind of throwaway matches at the Rumble. Yeah, a good little match. It still kind of told the story of Hardy and Joe a little bit, not much, but it was also very interesting to see Nakamura and Joe tag together because of their history at NXT. Just because they're heels now they're kind of friends. It's weird, but it was interesting. I liked it. Then we had another backstage segment with Miz and Shane. Talk about authority figures. Too much authority figures. Shane was yelling at Miz for hiring the Vegas boys and tricking the referee. Miz admitted he did it for McMahon. He noted he was never considered the best in the world until McMahon won that tournament with him. Miz extended his hand out to Shane, but Shane walked away. The fans booed McMahon for not shaking the hand. I have no idea where they're going with this. I think they're turning Miz into a babyface and Shane heel. Maybe. I honestly don't know. It's strange. It's very strange. I don't know what to make of it. It seems like they're throwing a lot of elements into this feud, and I don't know if many of them are landing. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it, but we'll see where it goes from here. So then, backstage, we had Kayla Braxton again interviewing AJ Styles. And Styles noted he wanted to beat up Daniel Bryan, but he couldn't because he needed Daniel to compete on Sunday so he could win his title back. He said, this isn't the new Daniel Bryan. This is the real Daniel Bryan. Ooh, I actually really like that line. In the back, Kayla Braxton again interviewing Charlotte Flair in gorilla position, which I really like. She noted she doesn't break up. What? She doesn't break, but she breaks records. Yikes. She's going to show the man and the Empress what she can do and make them bow down to the Queen. Cool. So next, we had the main event, which was Asuka versus Charlotte. Becky was at ringside, as stated earlier. Asuka worked over the leg, but Flair fought back. Asuka caught Flair with a vicious German suplex, kind of dropped her on her head a little bit. Flair regained control, attempted a moonsault. Asuka got her knees up and applied the Asuka lock. Great spot. That was an awesome spot. Also, the announcers, when she put in the Asuka lock, the announcer said shades of WrestleMania. Or, just shades of any Asuka match. Just stop. Flair dropped backwards to break the Asuka lock. Asuka reapplied the hold, but Flair made it to the ropes. They traded shots in the middle of the ring. Asuka gained control and worked over Flair's arm. She applied the triangle, but Flair countered with a powerbomb for a near fall. Flair applied the figure 4 leg lock, but Asuka reversed and made it to the ropes. Flair continued to work over Asuka's leg. Charlotte went for a spear, but Asuka countered with knees to the face. Asuka rocked Flair with kicks and elbows. And then Charlotte hit a spear for another near fall. And then Charlotte attempted another moonsault, but Asuka got her knees up again. Charlotte caught her legs and attempted a figure 4, but Asuka reversed it into the Asuka lock again. This was a really good match. They fell to the floor. Flair grabbed a kendo stick and started attacking Asuka for the DQ. So Asuka won by DQ. Interesting. Flair then attacked Lynch with the kendo stick. Lynch fought back and beat up Flair with the kendo stick, but then Asuka attacked Lynch and threw her over the announce table, and then Asuka beat up both Charlotte and Becky with the kendo stick to close out the show. So not only did Asuka get the win, but she also stood tall at the end of the show. I think Asuka's winning the title. You'll just have to see what I predicted in my predictions video later today. But this was great. I really enjoyed this. This was a really good match. Having Becky out there. Becky wasn't on commentary. She was just sitting watching the match, and she just adds, they cut to her every once in a while with her different facial expressions. When Becky's out there, there's just a different feel to it, even when she's not doing anything. But, no, this was a really good match. It was really good because they told the story of the figure 4 versus the Asuka lock, and then, come Sunday, even though it's a TLC match, you're going to throw the disarmer in there. It's going to be very interesting. I'm very excited, and I hope this ends up being the main event. But I think this was a really good way to set up that match. But overall, like I said, great episode of SmackDown. There are a few nitpicky things here and there. I've been giving Raw, 2.5s and 3s? I've been giving them 2.5s and 2s, actually. I'm going to give this one a 3.5 for SmackDown. 3.5 out of 5. This was a good show. Nothing significant happened. We had the dream match versus Mustafa and Daniel, but it wasn't by any means a pay-per-view match or anything like that. We had the rap battle, which didn't live up to expectations. It was still entertaining, and I still very much liked it, but it didn't live up to expectations. And then the Charlotte Asuka match, which was really good, but nothing significant happened, but everything furthered. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. So, thank you everyone for watching my SmackDown review. I don't exactly know what I'll be doing over Christmas break as far as these reviews. If I will do them, I'll be doing them at home. I won't be at school, so I'll be doing them at home. The quality probably won't be as good, but they'll only be up on the YouTube channel, First Round KO. And that's what's going to happen as far as that. They will come back for a regular basis January 22nd, whatever that Monday is. I think it's the 22nd. And what was the other? Oh, TLC predictions will be up tomorrow, I think. Depends on when I get my schoolwork done, but they should be up. If not tomorrow, then Friday. TLC predictions of me and Connor will be up. So those will also be on the First Round KO YouTube channel. So again, thank you everyone for watching. For the 91.7 audience listening, thank you everyone for listening to me over this semester. I will be at a different time next semester. But until then, thank you everyone, and I will see you next time.
Thank you everyone for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Give us a follow on Twitter, links in the description down below. And make sure you listen to our podcast, First Round KO, on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher.
Until next time, peace.